Hello, good evening. We're back. Let me introduce our guests one more time. Beside me, we have Mr. Darcy Lalonde, CEO, Shore Solutions. We have Ms. Penny Bongato, Executive Director, Talent Development, IBPAP. And we have Jermaine Diaz de Rivera, Senior Marketing Manager, IBPAP. Let's go to the academe now, ladies most especially. Okay, the perception's incorrect. Parents also need now to get involved. The schools have to do something. If the industry is growing, the demand is bigger right now than the college students we are graduating. There's 20,000 of them, right, annually that we graduate, and how many maybe even qualify, we don't know. Or is it there's a high mortality rate?
High mortality.
See, so they're not qualifying based on the certification and the requirement of the BPO requirements. So we go back to the schools. Hey guys, what are you doing? Now, I know that in college, yes, there are electives we were discussing during the break. Can you not just, instead of take out the useless, the Rizal, the Filipino, the other social, because a lot of the classes, I found this being a father sending my kids to university. I find that having to pay $3,000 per unit to take electives is a waste of time and money because they've taken this in grade school, high school, and now you're going to do it again in university. I simply don't understand. Why study Rizal again, for example? Or why study Filipino again? You know, why not go straight to the majors? But then again, I was told that's the curriculum. But maybe with your new instruction to improve our college students, isn't the CHED or even the DEP Ed taking this seriously that, hey, we've got a real issue here?
Let me correct that. DEP Ed has taken it seriously. That's why they implemented or they approved CMO 6 and 34 in 2012, series of 2012. What does that mean? That means that you still have your BSBA, major in something, with 15 units of elective. So instead of choosing any elective, you take this elective, the Service Management Specialization.
Well, why even make it elective? Let's just, no, you take this. It's good liberal arts anyway. Liberal arts is really opening up your mind towards all the different sciences of the world. It's free thinking, right? But why make it even elective? No, make it requirement.
The reason why we made it elective is because we still didn't need the majors of marketing management, the major of human resource management. We need them to know the technical side of a course. But the service management program at this time is addressing the skills gaps, communication skills, English proficiency, critical thinking, service orientation, and with as early as college, we'd like them to be introduced to IT BPM 101 and 102. What are those two subjects?
Only those two subjects, the IT BPM?
Five subjects.
Oh, it's 5.
It's 5 subjects. It's 15 units plus 600 hours of internships. So that means it's 21-unit specialization track.
My God,
So
it's a course.
it's a minor. It's a minor. So they have...
You can do this in 2 years, actually.
It is in 2 years.
It's 2 years.
Yes.
So if you do this, you can be guaranteed a job instead of having to go 4 years. If your family, for example, cannot afford it, you're better off doing this. And it's basically
possible.
liberal arts.
It's possible, but we have not offered it as a standalone program.
Well, why shouldn't we if the requirement... Why even teach nursing? Why even teach what? No, I'm just saying if the industry cannot absorb it, there's no opportunity, especially the poor, especially those in the provinces, those who are, who are marginalized, okay? They send their kids, the kids are the future for them. Filipino thinking, you go to school so you can support me. It's the other way around. I guess in the States it's the other way around. You go to school so you're not a problem, to yourself, But here, the mentality, because we're very clannish.
Yeah.
But if we teach the kids properly, then maybe it'll be quicker because the job matching, the minute you graduate, you will certify and then you'll get into a job. Correct?
Yes, that's
So
right.
why don't we force the issue rather than being, you can take this, take that, take this, take that, when there's no job opportunity. Yes?
So we're looking, in fact, we have been looking for a way to offer a service management specialization track. We call it fast track. But
Yes.
we haven't done that. We want to do it in college as a specialization track minor so that the majors will still be there. So if Darcy needs accountants or
Yes.
Darcy needs nursing, because IT developers. There are IT developers needed, but they can't speak good English, they can't critically think, but they know how to program. So we need to improve those competencies.
So improving that means it's also good to take all those other sciences or whatever you want to take up, but in the end, take these 21 units
Yes.
to hone in all those skills to be able to convey the message that you know these
To make
skills.
them holistic.
Oh
So
my
you
gosh,
may
you
have the
see,
technical
yes.
skills in college, but you really need the behavioral skills as well. And sometimes we say, what is it? Is it IQ, EQ? They're good in IQ, but they're poor in EQ.
Yes,
and
IQ,
hopefully
EQ.
hopefully with the service management
My
program,
gosh, it's a dilemma. I'm beginning to realize, God, how stupid I am. Go ahead, yeah.
hopefully with the service management program, we can make it more holistic. And with the ESMP,
Yes.
that also
You open it up to everybody.
we
And
open it up.
There's another angle that I'd like to include here. It's like if I was taking up nursing and I come into the IT BPM industry, then that means I would be servicing the HMO or the healthcare industry,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
in need of all that
HMO,
all
yes.
of those
Yes.
medical
Yes, you're
knowledge.
right.
So we cannot just service just
Medical
the
prescription, yeah, yeah.
minor without the
Know-how.
Yes. So we
Or even pharmacy, for example.
Yes.
That would be a requirement eventually, depending on the clientele the BPO would have.
I'll give you an example. I know of this particular company wherein they do financial closing, the reports, and they do accounting. So at the end of the day, the accountant does the number pushing, but somebody would have to present to the client. So somebody is asked to present to the client. He speaks very good English, can present himself well. When promotion time comes, who will be promoted? Who might be promoted? The accountant or the one who can present?
The
well?
one who can present, without a doubt.
Probably. But we don't want that because he can only present. He doesn't know the accounting side. So you want the accountants to be able to present, in fact, to be able to improve their competency at the level that is acceptable to the client or even better.
So what you're saying actually is not just a separate course. Go through the university, go through your education platform, whatever, of your desire, but add this last part to hone your skills to be able to communicate.
Yes.
Because this is what the BPO require.
And critical thinking. Plus critical
Please
thinking.
explain critical thinking. Because in Malacanang, I don't think they understand this.
Okay.
Try to teach our congressmen that are watching. Critical thinking, critical thought. I know this is not political, but go ahead.
You want to take this?
They didn't get cable.
Now, I'd like to add, apart from the ESMP and the SMP, we're looking at the whole industry actually as being part of almost all other industries. So you're in, let's say in power generation, you have the finance. It's either you have it in-house or you outsource it to not a third company. So there is no other industry that's not going to be touched by the IT BPM industry. So this is the new way in which we do business. We do business by servicing the needs without having to leave our area of residence. So that's why we also have a campaign which also points to living here and working abroad. You live here in the Philippines, but you're able to service the needs and demands
foreign
people.
countries.
Yes.
So
The way I see it, it's the added educational element that is required for the graduating student to be able to communicate. The BPO is about communication.
Okay.
It's a service in communication. Correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely.
Then you get, of course, your back room, which you may require, draftsmen who are architects, who have to be board architects, you know, they pass the board. Engineers.
Yep.
could be behind the BPO center, doctors, medical prescription, yes? It could be anything under the sun. It could be...
Virtual assistants.
Yes.
Anything.
And then the platform is the communicative
Okay.
platform, yes?
Yes, but I'd like once again to answer your question about critical thinking. Why is critical thinking important? Because again, you really need to think on your feet. You have to make decisions. It's problem solving and decision making. It's being able to analyze which direction should I go? What among the different options, alternatives should I choose to be able to respond to the problem? And critical thinking and English communication skills go hand in hand. In the study that we've done with 20,000 students, the results was, since it was sponsored by DOST, the results were given to a research company appointed by DOST, UP Research Foundation, wherein they analyzed the data and they saw the correlation between critical thinking and communication skills and English proficiency. How can you critically think if you can't understand the instruction? I'll
Good
give you a
point.
very simple example. I teach in college. My instruction to my students is write T if the statement is true and F is if the statement is false. And what do they answer? True or false? So just simple instructions they can't follow in school. What about at work? And we make more complex decisions at work. That's why we're saying English communication skills is very important.
But critical thought is equally important.
Because critical
Because,
thinking...
well, sir, what do you think of this? Let me get back to you tomorrow. Useless. It's gone. You know, we have to end the show. There's so much to talk about. Actually, I think if you're more free, again, we should have a volume 2 to continue this. I suffer. I admit I had the wrong perception, and I think a lot of our viewers and a lot of the parents out there, I think our perception is wrong about the BPO industry. It is a career. We should take this seriously. And the career, the academic solutions you're putting together or have been placing together, I think is an immediate need, as you have put it forward. Now, to save our country, gee, it's not like we have many other options available other than this industry at the growth rate it's shown itself to be. So, last words, a couple of seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. Let's start with Darcy. What message would you like to give the viewer?
Well, I hope the Philippines will be able to step up and meet this talent gap.
Immediately.
So, yeah, immediately. And you know, working with Penny and others, there is a will. So I do believe we need top government support in terms of pushing these programs and making it happen.
The academia, you mean, as far as the educational systems when it comes to government?
Well, I think right to the president, you need the support. And I'll use Singapore as a quick example, where I've worked on some programs in Singapore where the government actually looks at what is going to be the demand, and then they actually tailor their entire program around the supply of that. And you know, we say Singapore is kind of regimented, but you know what, at the end of the day,
right thing.
They do the right thing for the people.
Penny?
I would like to say that the jobs that are available today may not have existed 10 years from now, and the jobs that will be available 10 years from now may not exist today. Things are changing so fast. So I would like to plead to the parents to seriously consider allowing their children to work in IT BPM companies, because this is not just call center work. And getting into IT BPM companies is not easy. So it needs a lot of skills, and technical as well as behavioral competencies, and it has a good future.
Jermaine?
Well, I'd just like to thank everyone for listening to us, and I'd also like to encourage them to consider a career in the IT BPM industry, and we're partnering with government, and we're partnering also with people in business, in the industry, and we're trying to see to it that the skills that is needed by industry is provided, and we are actually opening to the next wave cities outside Metro Manila, so that there are job opportunities also in other areas apart from the centers of excellence like Bacolod, Manila, Clark, and Cavite?
Thank you very much. I guess we all have to learn something. If you watch this program, you would have picked up something. If you have kids right now, don't be the problem. Be part of the solution. I was part of the problem. I always thought it was a know-nothing industry. How wrong I am. How wrong you are. Ladies and gentlemen, maraming salamat po. Bahala na kayo sa iyong buhay. Thank you very much. Sorry, I had... You are what you watch.